Hey guys, and welcome back to Fringe Friday. I am Carmen, and today we are going to be watching season 1, episode 15 of Fringe. After the last episode, I really just want to get into this episode and see, more clues and hints and what the hell is happening, because we had lots of revelations last episode. We have David Robert Jones possibly in a alternate or parallel dimension. We have the fact that Walter and or William Bell wrote ZFT and all of the questions that brings along. We have renewed questions about the Observer. We know that Olivia was part of an experiment by William Bell with a drug that I forget the name of. It's like Crotexiphan or something like that. Crotexiphan. Anyway, and it has to do with brain and everything, and she turned the lights off, and I still think that there's something weird with Peter, and I want to know about Walter. And yeah, lots of questions, some answers that lead to more questions. So let's just watch this episode and see what gets revealed.
Fall behind schedule, we violate our permit.
Just a minute, almost there.
Okay, so it's like for a building, demolition and stuff.
You okay? Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, what's going on?
I don't know.
You swept it, right?
Sure. I just...
Have a feeling?
Hey, radio Mike, will you? Tell him I want to do another sweep.
Come on.
He's gonna get...
I think we missed something.
What? Was it homeless people?
Sounds hollow. This was definitely not in the blueprints.
No, it's a secret bunker or something. There was definitely something. Shadow just moved across there.
What the hell?
Is that a person? Was that a person?
Oh my God.
Can you show? That's a child. How are they still alive? You are invited to the show today. Police lost. Did somebody kidnap that child and put her down there?
The artist is back.
The artist.
How do you know? Did we receive another fax?
Outfit office got one too.
Or did we get a trace?
Sent from a copy store in Austin.
Does he have to do with the little girl they found? The artist.
It was determined they've been sealed shut for at least 70 years.
How is a little boy? He's not 70 years old.
Dr. Bishop, any thoughts?
Perhaps. First, I need a piece of special equipment.
Yeah.
My turntable.
Is that some kind of lab equipment?
No, a turntable.
Music. Yeah.
He's having difficulty breathing. We need to administer oxygen.
No.
Why?
The child was trapped in a low oxygen environment for so long that his body adapted to it.
I don't think so.
Unless you have an IQ higher than mine, I'm not interested in what you think.
Be nice.
I always imagined getting a tattoo would hurt real bad.
It's a good pain.
Who are these people, though?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
You didn't.
What if he's the artist?
Hey,
Could be like Ted Bundy. Like this could be an act.
you need a hand?
Actually, a little help would be great. Yeah, she is.
I saw this coming. Ted Bundy. You know what I'm saying?
My name's Olivia. What's yours?
I don't know that he has a name.
You won't remember this, Peter, but you didn't talk much either as a child.
Peter didn't talk much either as a child. Interesting. I'm writing that down. Can he write? Sam Gilmore?
What's it say?
Sam Gilmore.
He can write?
Yeah. How can he write if he's been down there?
Samantha Gilmore.
Wait, did you say Sam Gilmore?
That's her name?
Yeah, Samantha Gilmore. You know her?
How did that kid know? I thought that he might be channeling something, but I don't know. I don't understand how he knows that.
But that still doesn't explain how he got there in the first place. You
Yeah.
said that that place had been sealed off for decades. The boy couldn't be more than 10.
Well, he certainly looks that.
You believe he might be older?
So he could
He could be significantly older.
How could he be 70 though? That seems too much.
They told me that you haven't eaten anything solid yet.
You should try these. A little tasty.
I thought that you might like these more than the mystery meat. When I was a kid, I used to live on these, except the yellow. Something about the color reminded me of medicine. You want to try one?
You have a real way with him. Elliot Michaels, Department of Social Services.
Okay.
Have you been able to find out anything more about him?
I'm afraid not yet.
I'm not gonna get in your way. I just thought I'd stop by and see him before I get the ball rolling.
I don't trust this guy. Is he reading lips? Is he okay? What's wrong with him?
Okay, it's okay. Hey, it's okay.
I think we may have found another one.
Uh-huh. See, I knew I didn't trust him. I knew I did not trust him. That little boy somehow knows too. Did you write? Are you gonna write? 547 Marlboro.
Anything so far?
I just got here 5 seconds ago. So what's the plan? Start knocking on doors?
Unless you can think of a better idea.
Well, I mean, it said 547, right? Oh no. Oh no, I don't think that they saved her. How does that kid know what he knows though? Like, they found another what? What is that guy talking about? Psychic?
We found our second victim. There's one more thing, Liv. The address the boy gave us.
That's where she was taken?
A little while after we left, a neighbor found a dog tied to a fence. It was a victim's dog.
We were there.
Yeah.
But he was trying to tell us, and he was right, and we were there.
Yeah, don't blame yourself. How would you have known to look in that van? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Peter, why didn't you tell me Agent Dunham was here?
I'm pretty sure I did.
What can I do for you?
He has selective hearing, like all dads.
I believe I know how he's doing it. Since he's been living underground for so long, his hypersensitivity to light and sound, it's just possible he may also be sensitive to people's emotions, able to intuit the feelings and intentions of others.
How?
Even if you're right, and he can sense the killer, he can't tell me that.
Well, if that's the problem, then there's no problem.
What does that mean?
Well, the boy is obviously thinking, yes, having thoughts. We just haven't been able to hear them.
And I'm sure you can do that, can't you? Hear his thoughts.
Perhaps I can.
Okay, how? If he can write, can he not talk? You know?
Did you make that?
He did an arrow. He's Aang. No, but he... Sorry. Yeah, he's gone.
Where's the child that was in this room?
He was discharged.
By whom?
Not you.
If for a second you're scared, or you don't like what's happening, you just squeeze my hand like that.
Love and happiness. Wait a minute, something going wrong.
Oh my gosh. He's making him laugh.
Nicely done, Walter.
He had a son. He knows how to deal with kids. That guy.
Did you really think you could just steal a child out of protective custody and that somehow no one would notice?
She didn't steal him.
Mr. Michaels is in social services. He's with the CIA's Directorate of Science and Technology. Suppose you give us 1 day.
A day?
Yes.
The boy will be under my protection. I'll personally guarantee his safety.
Yes. Do it.
If I agree to this, then you'll turn the boy over to me without a fight.
Sure.
Do we have an agreement?
We'll just say yes for now.
How would someone get cow's blood on their fingers in Boston?
Butcher? Maybe?
Here's a thought.
Butcher?
A couple years ago, I was working down in Tennessee as a floor sweeper at a meatpacking plant.
Sounds awesome.
You have no idea. We had these big rolls of industrial-grade plastic that we used to wrap the cuts of meat in before we would send them to the grocery stores.
Cow's blood and plastic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that sounds a little more like a voice.
Strong. Quickly, get me a tape recorder.
Walter, turn the machine off right now. Turn it off now. He's freezing. Let me get this off.
Maybe he was channeling the woman he took.
And also a sample of your shipping plastic. It could be an element in our investigation. Will that be a problem?
No, but man came in here yesterday. I sold him some plastic.
Okay. Did you know who he was or why he wanted it or any of that stuff?
Mommy.
Oh, thank you. Your mother raised you well.
Don't think so.
He started shivering all of a sudden. Like the temperature dropped 30 degrees.
Maybe he was channeling Olivia.
Seems fine. We got him wrapped up in a blanket. He's doing okay.
Peter, ask if the plant was refrigerated.
It's a meat packing plant full of raw meat. So yeah, let's go out on a limb here and say that it's probably refrigerated. What does that even matter?
Because that explains everything.
Yeah, he was with her.
Our strange little friend is an empath.
Yes, he senses other people's emotions. You already said that, Walter.
But most importantly, he is emotionally bonded to you, Agent Dunn. That's why he's telling you about the crimes, because he knows
How it matters to you.
he's trying to help you.
But how is he doing it is the question.
That man who's been hurting people is going to hurt someone else unless I stop him. Do you know who he is?
Perhaps a small electric shock to kickstart things.
Walter, I think
No.
not.
It's like he's mad at me.
Because he doesn't want to leave. Well, you told Michaels that once the boy helped you stop the artist, you'd turn him over to him.
He heard you.
Yeah. He doesn't want to go.
I'm sorry. I've been so caught up in what I needed that I forgot how strange this must seem to you.
Yeah.
I need your help again. I can't even stop them from taking you, even though I wish I could. And if you really can feel what I'm thinking,
You know that's true?
you know how much I mean that.
Yeah. York/Glenway?
Thank you.
What's going on, officer?
What are you doing in the neighborhood, sir?
I just coming home from work. Haven't had anything to drink.
Yep.
Did you mind if I ask what you're looking for?
Looks very similar. There's a Christmas tree.
Sir, we need to check the back of your vehicle.
Charlie, check the back of the van!
Get him. How did he get that far in front of her?
Liv, it's him.
Yay. Did he run into a cemetery? No. stabbed him, though. I mean, he deserved it. I don't feel bad.
You remember Dr. Winnick. She's going to take you now. But not to a facility. She's going to take you to a home with a very nice family that are going to take care of you.
Oh, yeah? She'll be such a good mom. How did she swing that, though? Like, the CIA?
He disappeared from right under the noses of a protective detail. I'm beginning to suspect there's a lot about him we don't understand, and apparently we never will.
I love it. I'm proud of them. Pretty sure that's very illegal, but I'm happy that they did it anyway. You know, is he from the same place the Observer's from? I had this question earlier because they look hella similar. But I was going to talk about it after the episode. You know, the more that I'm sitting here and thinking, the more that that child and the Observer have in common. So, we first met the Observer in the episode where the building got demolished, right? Or it went underground. No. There was construction, right? And then the egg thing came up and he was, observing it and all that stuff. But I think it's interesting that there was construction workers when we met the Observer, construction workers when we met this kid. The obvious similarity in, just visual similarity in them, no hair, very pale skin. The fact that the Observer seems to know things that he shouldn't know, and so does this child. I was talking last episode about how the Observer might be from a parallel universe dimension thing. Yeah. Because we don't really know where he comes from or who he's observing for or what his end goal is. And this child could be from the same place because we don't know really how he's doing what he's doing. Like, I know the explanation, or I understand the explanation of him being an empath and being like heightenedly attuned to Olivia and other people's emotions, even insofar as like miles long radius, but I don't know if that fully explains it. I don't know if that fully explains the Observer either. And the fact that the little boy and the Observer had that moment of looking at each other and observing each other, I thought was really interesting and worth noting. Are we going to see this little boy again? Obviously, that is a rhetorical question. Please do not answer it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that the CIA guy, Elliot Michaels, he said, when he was on the phone, I think this is another one. So to me, that says that they have found someone like this before. I don't think it's the Observer. I wonder if it was a child. I wonder if he is even a child and like what his age really is, because Walter alluded to the fact that he could be older. The place had been sealed for 70 years. What if he was in an egg? What if that's what comes out of the egg? What if that little boy is what comes out of the egg? Am I thinking too hard about this? It's It's very possible. It's very possible that I'm just overthinking this. I feel like we're getting more pieces to the puzzle as the season goes on, and it makes me really happy and excited that I can be like, this piece of the puzzle looks very similar to this piece. Maybe they fit together somehow, you know? And I'm just thinking that with the little boy, that he is very similar to the observer piece of the puzzle and the egg maybe, and I'm trying to fit it together somehow. And I'm not sure if it actually goes together, but it makes sense to me that it is at least related on some level. I think it's interesting that in this episode we had this sort of overarching theme of Olivia and children and her being really good with kids and sort of connecting with them and really just having that sort of maternal instinct and making people, in particular children, feel safe and comfortable around her. I really like that aspect of her character. I think she is very warm and giving and kind, and that's why, you know, kids gravitate towards her and seem to want to be around her. And I think it's a very endearing aspect of her character. We also saw Walter being good with kids, which is, I don't know, it was just really nice to see, because a lot of times we see Walter being a little bit awkward and off-putting to some people. I find him endearing, but you can see like when he sort of goes up against Broyles and stuff, that Broyles, the straight man of the sort of show, is always just like, you know, kind of like that. And so to see Walter have this ability to connect with this child and make him feel safer and better was a really nice moment, I thought, because we just don't often see that side of Walter as much as we see the pragmatic scientist who is not super aware of like social norms and social cues and all of that stuff. So I really enjoyed seeing that, and it kind of really made me want a flashback episode with child Peter, in particular because Walter in this episode also said that Peter did not talk much as a kid, that he was very quiet. And you know, I have so many theories about Peter and where he really came from and who he really is and all these things. But I think that also that is sort of Peter's personality. You know, he sort of sits back and observes and watches how things play out and like what's going on, and he takes it in, and then he does what he's doing, you know? So yeah, I just like to have information and tidbits on characters and who they were and who they are, and try to get into their heads and really overthink their characters because it's just what I do. You know, I come from a storytelling background, creative writing, all that stuff. So I find characters fascinating. I have always been a character-driven person in a story. Like, I want to know every detail about these characters. I want to know them and truly understand them so that I can connect. That's how I connect with characters. I don't know. Let me know how you connect with characters. I am curious, like, what other people's watching style is. Are you more plot driven? Do you want to know like that the plot is really good, or are you more character driven? Are you like, I don't care what happens if I don't care about the characters that it's happening to, which is kind of my thing. Like, I care about the plot, don't get me wrong. A well-written plot is incredibly important, but I have to care about the characters involved in that plot in order to care about the plot. So, speaking of characters, I think that Broyles is a very interesting character, and I really enjoy watching him on screen because he is, you know, the straight man, right? He sort of is like just the guy who got who is very normal, and he got thrown into this world that is incredibly abnormal, and he's just like, I don't know how to deal with this, you know? I would love to have an episode that focuses on Broyles and learn more about him and his character, because I do not feel like we know very much. We see him mostly through the eyes of Olivia, and we see him mostly in regards to her. We don't really see him on his own a lot or having any kind of storylines, and I would really like to see more of him and Charlie and kind of have a better understanding of who they are as characters, separate from who they are as characters in relation to the characters that we know and love and care about. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to get to know them individually as well. Like, I would like a Broyles-centric episode, and I would like a Charlie-centric episode, and to sort of see their lives from that perspective. Like, honestly, I would even like a Nina Sharp-centric episode. Like, I want to understand her, and like I would love a flashback episode of her and William Bell and the arm and the hand and all of that stuff, because I feel like it's very easy to judge characters based off of of their interactions with the characters that you love, right? And it's always better to have more dimension to a character and to be able to fully understand that character in their own right, so that you can, you know, form an opinion on them. I don't know. Like, I don't trust Nina Sharp because of what we know about her and what we've seen, but maybe she's trustworthy, you know? I originally, in episode 1, did not like Broyles because his interactions with Olivia were very dismissive and very unfair, and we learned that he was defending his friend who hurt women, and as a woman, it's kind of not great to see that, you know what I mean? It's like, the people who hurt women are bad, right? But a lot of times as a woman, you have to worry not just as much, but a lot about the people who defend the people who hurt women, you know? Because those are the people that you need to advocate for you and advocate for the people who hurt you, if that makes sense. Luckily, as the episodes have gone on, we've gotten to know Broyles a lot more, and I think that his defending of Harris came from a place of not really seeing the truth of who his friend was. And I think that as the episodes go on and he understands who Olivia is as a person, that he has really grown to care for and respect her. And he has grown to not respect and like Harris as much, which I think the show did really well. I think that that is character growth that is interesting and fun to watch unfold. And I very much like Broyles now, so I think that the show did a really great job of making you dislike a character in the first episode, because I don't think anybody can disagree with the fact that he was not presented as a likable character in episode 1. And then completely do a 180 for that character, you know? Like, they allowed that character to change and grow before our eyes, and they illuminated things for him and things for us that allowed that growth to be facilitated. Anyway, I am rambling so much. I am sorry. What else did I have to say about this episode? Let me see. I don't know. I find it really interesting what that kid can do, and I don't understand it, and I would love to see him again, and I would love for him to have a name. Not only do I not understand how this child does what he does, I don't understand how he can write. You know? Like, that's something that's even more, like, difficult to understand than the fact that he knows what killers are doing. I feel like he has to be from another sort of dimension or something. feel like he's from the egg. That is my theory. That is, well, my hypothesis. I need more evidence to actually form a full fleshed out theory about it, but my guess is that he's from the egg, or he is from the place that the observer is from, because again, the similarities are uncanny. All right, you guys, I think that after all of that rambling, I am finally done saying what I have to say about this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch this entire reaction and the next reaction right now over on Patreon, which will be linked in the description down below. So if you are interested, go check that out. I think that it's really fun, and I am loving this show, and I have to cut out a lot of it because it is very, very long. So, until next time. Bye, guys.